At a young age, I was instilled with the idea that each of us grows into having one passion, one thing that we dedicate our whole lives to, one talent that defines who we are. And when I never found that, I felt like I was broken. I felt like I couldn't be the person I wanted to be. Little did I know that there was something better than being the master of one thing. It was being a jack of trades. It's sporting so many faces, being able to do a little bit of everything. It's knowing that you're capable of learning and caring and feeling for so many things. It's beautiful. And I will never show just one face, I will show you all of them. Because that's who I am. And these are my many faces. Are you guys ready to kick some makeup butt? I'm starting off with my face already divided into 7 sections, and let's see, who should we start off with? How about my classic Cheshire Cat? We're starting off with a gray water-activated face paint, and I'm just gonna fill in this whole section, doing a couple layers to make sure it's nice and opaque. A bit of forewarning, you could totally draw the mouth on first and just paint around it, but I'm lazy, so I'd rather do all the paint now, and then I'm going to erase the area for the mouth after. Just thought I'd let you know. Once the area is all opaque and gray, I'm going to take a toothbrush, mix some gray and white paint, and I'm going to start stippling and dragging all over that gray area. Then I'm going to do the same with some black and gray paint, and this is going to simulate a fur-like texture. I also make sure to drag the toothbrush in different directions to be like matching the way the fur would grow on a feline's face. Like if you ever look at a cat, the fur doesn't all go in the same direction. It tends to follow, well, the curvature of the face. Most animals do. At least from what I've noticed, and or think I've noticed. Maybe I'm making it all up and I'm crazy. Yeah, maybe. Now I'm gonna take a makeup wipe and just wipe out the area where the mouth is going to be. Now take a white face paint and just start filling in that area that you've wiped out, and this is going to be the base for your teeth. Now I'm taking a very small brush in black face paint and going along the rim of the mouth, and I'm going to draw the teeth on. Here I'm going to take a dark gray face paint and just make a cat's nose. I make sure to extend the side past my nostril and underneath it, so that way the darkness of my nostril is hidden within the nose, and it doesn't cast a shadow to the side, so when I look forward, it looks like flat against my face, if that makes any sense, you know? Trying to go for a bit of an optical illusion here, and then make that little cleft lip that cats have as well. Now I'm just doing a line of stripes across the jawline with blue face paint. Once the first layer of blue is dry, I'm going to take what's left on the brush and just make little lines to mimic the fur texture in the other parts of the face. Then, so I can incorporate a little more blue into the look, I'm adding it back into that nose there, dabbing it out so it's soft, as well as adding little tinges of blue fur all along the gray area. That way it's not just that random swatch of blue in the stripes, you feel? Take a gray eyeshadow and a small fluffy brush and shade the corners of the mouth and the areas under the lips, just to give that sort of 3D effect. We did some shadows, and I'd like to do just a little bit of highlights by taking that jumbo milk pencil and putting it right in the center of the teeth and dabbing it out just a bit. Just for a little highlight, you know? And congrats, that's one face pizza slice down. And now we're getting on to the next. Also, look at this cool mask I have. It fits perfectly. I should have just latexed this to my face. So, for our skeletal pizza slice, I'm going to be looking at a picture of a skull and taking a white face paint and just painting white where I see white on the skeleton. And then I'm gonna get wild and put black where I see black. Once I have these nice cut cheekbones, I'm just gonna take that black paint and run it right across the inners of my lips and to the cheekbones. Yeah, pretty basic skull makeup, and then just drag a couple lines upward for teeth. I feel free to make mine wicked sketchy because I'm going to go over them with a black shadow later for, well, shadowy effects, so they don't have to be super clean in the moment. Now I'm going to fill in this black area down here to give the effect of missing that area of my face because I'm essentially just a skull. And of course we can't forget the nose. I paint the ball of my nose completely black and have the side kind of raise up like a cat ear. Yeah, like a cat ear. Yet again, I paint my nostrils so you can't really see the shadow just hanging out there and being weird. To put a temporary finish on this pizza slice, I just make a couple accent lines for visual interest around the holes in the face. Now, onto the space face pizza slice. I already have a whole tutorial about space face, but to sum it all up, you're gonna go all over your face with a NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil and milk and blend it out with your fingers. Next, I'm taking this minty blue color from a NYX Ultimate Brights palette on a super fluffy brush, and I'm just going to put that in little cloudy areas all over this pizza slice. Once I have these light blue clouds, I take this dark blue indigo color and just kind of go around them. I use a mix of sweeping motions as well as kind of just dabbing motions with the fluffy brush. It kind of gives this like rounded effect to the blotches of color that mimic the shadows you'd see on clouds. Now I'm taking this dark purple and going all around the blue. For more intense details of how I'm doing this, I have a whole tutorial about space face, but the generalness of it all is to take colors like light blue, dark blue, this purple, and then I'm going to take this warm tone purple, and I kind of just create gradients all over my face. It's really better if there's no discernible pattern to the colors and gradients, because then it seems more like realistic and something you'd find in nature since there's not many natural patterns in the sky. Also, it's great to have pieces that are darker and lighter, which is why I try to stay in the same color family, or just go ahead and blend them right over each other, and I'm not too worried if they're patchy, because it gives the effect of clouds. Since clouds are semi-translucent, you can kind of see through them, so you'll have pieces that are darker and lighter. Now we're taking our handy-dandy toothbrush, dipping it in white face paint, and then we're going to flick that white face paint all over the space face slice. The reason we're doing this is because, like I said, aside from constellations, there's no real discernible pattern of stars in the sky, and I feel like when I hand paint stars, I tend to default just accidentally do some patterns, so this is the best way to make sure there's just completely random and they vary in size, in space, and it's perfect. If I want bigger or more concentrated clusters of stars, I just lightly tap the toothbrush along the areas I want them to create a more packed-in look. Paint is good and all, but to make sure that the area stays pigmented near the eye, I'm taking this NYX Vivid Brights purple liner, and I'm going to go right above the top lash line and right below the bottom lash line. Then take a smudger brush and smudge it out so it's got a nice little gradient to it, but I know that the area will stay covered no matter how many tears I shed. For our next pizza slice, I'm going to mix the NYX Born to Glow Liquid Illuminator with a NYX Stay Matte Not Flat foundation and apply it all over this corner of my face. Then I'm just going to blend it out with a little beauty sponge. Here I'm going to forget setting powder and take Undress Me, which is a NYX Nude Matte Shadow, and put it all into my crease with a super fluffy brush, as well as carry it up a little higher. This is also going to be a bit of a transition shade between the shadow and skin, just because it's the perfect in-between the colors I'm using in my skin tone, so yeah, let's do it. Then I'm going to take Haywire, which is also a nude matte shadow, and put it right into the outer V and outer third of my crease with a smaller fluffy brush. Now I'm taking the NYX Rose Dust Prismatic Shadow on my finger and just putting that all over the eye. Then I'm going to take the Navy Faux Black Eyeliner and put it all on the waterline. Feel free to make it super grungy because then I'm going to take a smudger brush and go over it so it's nice and smoked out in the bottom. Here's where I realize I forgot setting powder, so I take the NYX Holographic Halo Powder on a kabuki brush and just set my face in. Now I'm going to take my NYX Beauty School Dropout palette, and I'm going to take this little off-white shade in the bottom corner, and just put that on my inner corner and my brow bone, just for a subtle little lift and matte highlight, if you will. To finish off this pizza slice, I'm going to take the NYX Duochromatic Highlighter in Synthetica, and just work that right onto my cheekbone. Then add a little bit of mascara, and voila! We're done with this slice. For now. Our next pizza slice is going to look a lot like pepperoni, because it's muscle. Muscle and pepperoni is just, it's red. That's all it really has in common. Whatever, anyways. So to do this, I'm going to be looking at an anatomical face chart to see where muscles and tendons lay in this face, because in the face, your muscles tend to run in a few different directions depending on where and what, so I would definitely say look one up. I would post a picture of one, but I don't know if I'm allowed to since I'm also entering this video into a competition. Anyway, what I really noticed was that there's a semicircle right underneath the eye and a couple of tendons that run across the cheekbone. To do these, I'm going to make them out of cotton and liquid latex. I start off by laying a little line of latex down, then a little wrapped up piece of cotton, then put latex on top of that. Once I have those all set, I'm going to break out that red face paint, and I'm going to start just painting in the directions that the muscle fibers run, so even if any paint strokes are visible, it just adds a little bit of dimension to the muscle fibers. Now I'm taking red face paint on a slightly drier brush and just dragging it along the muscle tendons. The texture created by the latex and cotton is perfect because it causes the brush to skip a little bit, which just gives this like really nice, cool look to the streaks of red across the yellow. Now I'm going to take white and red and just do some highlights on the muscle tendons, following the curvature of the areas they're in. And to do the shadows, I'm mixing a little bit of black with red and just doing it yet again in the same direction as the tendons in places near the white, but not on top of it, obviously, because that would cover it up. And that's your muscle slice. Our next face slice is totally cool to look at, even though it's super easy to make. I just got gold leaf from a local craft store, and I'm going to latex it all over this triangle area, except for a little hole in the middle. I want to carry the gold leaf up into the hairline, but I get a little scared putting liquid latex around there because I don't want to rip my hair out. So I'm going to take this NYX liquid highlighter from the Away We Glow collection and just start filling in the empty places where I didn't have any gold leaf sticking. I even drag it through my hair a bit just so that metallic sheen follows through. I add it to empty spaces around the whole triangle too, just so the color is consistent, and it kind of adds this nice dimension to the gold, almost like it may have rusted a little bit. I don't think gold rust, but you know, they look good together. That's what counts. Because I have a lightweight horn made out of tape and latex and cotton balls, I'm able to just put latex on the spot I want to adhere it to and stick it right on there. I hold it there for a couple seconds just to make sure it sticks, and then I start applying latex and gold leaf to that as well so it blends in with its surroundings. I especially make sure to go around the base of the horn with a lot of latex and gold leaf so it really has that coming out the forehead effect. And that's basically it for this slice. For this final quadrant, I'm going back in with that NYX Away We Glow liquid illuminator and putting it all over the triangle. This section's essentially just going to be a super glittery, glowy part. It was originally going to be like a rainbow glitter gradient, but I felt like that would be a lot of color going on there, and really a nice warm tone kind of two-color gradient would just be more flattering with the rest of the look, so that's what I stuck with. This slice is super simple. I just take this dark orange glitter from NYX and then this gold glitter and put them on my face, putting the orange glitter on the further half towards my ear and the gold glitter more towards the center, blending them a little bit in the middle, and you have your glitter gradient. Super easy. It sticks really well because I had the Away We Glow liquid illuminator already on there. Now, starting off with the Cheshire Cat section, I'm going to take a gray shadow and just kind of shade in the edge that I imagine is hanging underneath the face next to it. So I imagine that the Cheshire Cat face is underneath the muscle face. So with a dark gray eyeshadow, I'm just gonna kind of shade in this little area here to make it look like the muscly area is hanging over the Cheshire Cat face. I feel like I just kind of reiterated a bunch of what I already said, but I just want to make sure I'm making sense. For all of the faces, I use a gray shadow except for Space Face and my human face, which I used a Haywire, that one nude matte shadow from NYX, to go over those two. The reason I do that is because a gray shadow on the human face would totally give it just kind of a, well, gray cast on an otherwise warm toned face, and I just wasn't messing with that. And then because Space Face is really purple based, I just thought a deeper purpley based shadow would make more sense. Now it's time for a few quick finishing touches. I throw a white contact into my Space Face eye, and then I'm going to go on the waterline with that same navy eyeliner from before. And then I'm going to take Mint Julep and Pink Perfect, which are two mascaras from the NYX Pastel Mascara line, and I'm going to put Pink Perfect on top of my lashes and Mint Julep on the bottom. I throw a little bit of black eyeliner over my other eye, so I can hide a band of a pair of falsies I'm about to apply. Now I'm going to add a little bit of fake blood to that muscle slice.
Realistically speaking, from an anatomy perspective, not that I have much of one, but from what I think I know, I don't think there's a lot of clotty, thick blood running along your muscle lines. It's usually stuff found in your arteries and when big veins get messed up, you know? But, sorry about that. But we're doing it anyway.
It's a good thing I never took anatomy. No one can be mad at me. Once you've finished that up, you're all set, and you've finished my mini faces look. I'm gonna let Real-Time K take over from here. Thank you guys so much for 100 subscribers, for pushing me to do this, because quite a couple of you did, and just watching my videos in general. And I'll see you in the next video, and hopefully I'll see you at the next Face Awards. Bye, guys. Killer K out. Oh, I did it all out of order! Ah!